Greetings, family, and welcome to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray, family, that you are well in all, absolutely all your ways, and that you are now spiritually online, that you are spiritually anchored into who you are, where you came from, what you are, why you're here, and that you have really started to flesh out your own narrative, family, and you're not doing this alone. There is so much spiritual help. And okay, I mean, I'm even now getting into stuff for Dr. Mumbi's spiritual show. Make sure that you're subscribed there, family. But I was going to say, there's so much help and assistance around you. And one of the questions I always get is, how do we know if it's the devil or God or Satan or whatever? It's how you feel, family. That's why you have to work on the quality of your heart and make sure that your heart is always in the right place, always doing the right thing. And that will be more of a powerful defense, family, than anything else you can try and get, out here to physically defend you from what is happening with the collapse of Babylon and the birth of a new earth. But those are stories for other days. Remember a couple of months ago, I did a story on Rwanda where Rwanda and the divided kingdom had signed this agreement where the divided kingdom was going to send Africans, illegal migrants, to Rwanda for processing, and they were going to be, paid, I don't know how much per refugee, and they would be like rehabilitated and then put into Rwandese society. There were a lot, and then remember there was that holding cell which looked more like a prison where they would go for like 6 months, and that story caused so much international outrage. It caused a Twitter war, and all of a sudden, family, I didn't even know that but we never follow the news anyway. I didn't even know that this was being decided now, but on November 15th, the divided kingdom's Supreme Court delivered a landmark ruling declaring that the UK's government's migration strategy of sending asylum seekers to Rwanda was illegal. And of course, already the politicians are trying to figure out how do they maneuver through this. But this is huge, family. And for me, when I read this story, what I was thinking about is how powerful our voice is in guiding global policy. If we could only find the discipline and the unity of heart to keep our energy together on important global decisions that affect us, we'd see a much swifter transformation in our lives, in the lives of our African brothers and sisters, in the lives of our African American brothers and sisters. We'd see such a massive shift. And if you're aware and if you're sensitive to the seasons and times, you will realize that while there's still unfortunate incidents that are happening in the divided states against our brothers and sisters, family, those stories, I mean, I'd love to hear from my brothers and sisters. Is it that the stories are less? Is it that the narrative is less? Because I always felt it was just to shatter our psyche. Or is it that there's been a shift in the energy and atmosphere? Definitely let me know in the comments. But family, this is a big win. This is a big win for all of us in terms of seeing that we can spiritually direct events on Mama Earth. And this is something that I feel is going to increase in the seasons and the months ahead, where we will, continue to see our unity breaking down the shackles and the chains against our people, bringing an end to harmful policies that are trying to be implemented, like in Kenya. Although, sadly to say, the Kenyan members of parliament, I know you guys said this would happen, they voted to send the police to IT, but there's a lot going on in Kenya, family. There's a lot going on in Kenya. We'll see how long that lasts. Anyway, family, it's not so much about just bringing our attention to something for a second. Babylon has worked for centuries, or maybe just 2 centuries. Some say that even this whole thing is only 200 years old, stories for the days. But they've worked tirelessly to reduce the attention span of man and to bombard us with so much information that we truly can't come together and change the world. It reminds me of this elder when I was doing my PhD and I was interviewing, some women. of the Mau Mau. And I also ended up interviewing some high priests and some high priestesses. And I was asking one of the high priests, Amudo Mugo, like, what would his advice be to the generation of the future? And he told me, you know, our elders always speak in riddle. They always give you a story. They don't say, go tell them this. No. He told me this story where he had gone to this village once and they had been experiencing all kinds of, you know, thievery and thuggery and all this stuff. And it was just like it was unsafe. People were afraid to move around at night. And, you know, the villagers invited him to come and do some kind of ritual, some kind of sacrifice, you know, to exorcise the demons. And he just, you know, and he told them, you know, if you were to come together as the 400-500 people that live here and bring your minds together, even for just an hour, and say that, you know, and be in unison of thought, in unison of heart, that there will be total peace forever in your community, that would happen. And he was like, even if you as a village was to come in unity and have the same declaration for the country or even the continent, it would change the fabric of reality. And that for me is what they mean when they say it takes a village. Not only to raise a child, but to transform destiny. We don't need everybody, family, but we do need somebody's. And I hope that when I are called to stand together in unison with others of like mind, that we will do so with the most innocent, pure, and highest vibrational hearts and minds. And that is why, family, I see with all of these things that are making the news and capturing the imagination of the people, I do see that there is a splitting or a natural separation that is happening between those who are super high vibrational and more refined and more sophisticated in their thinking and in their feeling, and those who are still ensnared by Babylon and the things of Babylon. Because it is time for the great works, family. But those are stories for other days. Thanks to every single person that supports us on Patreon. Definitely consider supporting us there or sending us a love donation through PayPal, family. We'll send you an awesome gift for your PayPal donation. And stay elevated, stay high. TUKO, PAMOJA.